Press play.
Michael, can you tell me a little bit about the Black Phone?
Ooh, baby. Black Phone. Black Phone was dope. Overall, it was interesting because it's like it almost kind of plays out like a Netflix like documentary. It's not. I wouldn't say like a documentary, but in that same style, like because it takes place in the 70s.
Yeah.
So aesthetically, I would say kind of mirrors somewhat like like one of those reenactments from like Netflix crime documentary or something like that. Especially with the intro. Overall, though, it's actually interesting because it does take like a more like ethereal, like ghost like take on the whole story. Because overall, I mean, it's about this guy, who kidnaps kids, and I mean that's not really spoiling anything. You'll figure that pretty early on in the movie. But just Ethan Hawke just has such a stellar performance as the main antagonist. He's creepy as hell. Overall, I mean, it's good. You know what I mean? I didn't really have any preconceived notions. I just thought looked interesting. So me and Jen actually ended up watching it, and it did make me jump quite a few times.
Really?
Which
Okay.
are some of the things it did. I think a lot of it just has to do, though. It does do that one thing I hate that horror movies do, where they just get really like exponentially loud and it just scares the shit out of you.
Okay.
So I did that a couple times, and I'm like, I get startled more than anything. So it does do that, but overall, story wise, it's very engaging. I think it was pretty solid. I think it's definitely worth a watch on a Friday night if you want to take someone on a date, or taking Vanessa out on a date.
Okay.
I think it's a good movie to watch on a Friday night because it's pretty solid. I mean, in terms of like horror movies, I think it's probably one of the better ones that I've seen in a long time. It's horror right now as a genre is pretty hit or miss. So this was definitely more so of a hit than anything else. So definitely recommend it. But yeah,
directed by Scott Derrickson, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which I don't know what else he's done, but
he did Sinister, and he did the first Doctor Strange movie.
See, so that makes a lot of sense because there was a lot of like stylistic choices that reminded me of Sinister, so that actually makes a lot of sense. I had no idea that was the same guy, but you could definitely see a lot of like a lot of homage to like Sinister. Yeah, I think if you like Sinister, you'll definitely like the Black Phone a lot more, in my opinion.
Okay.
Definitely super interested.
Okay. For the rest of what I have, I know we're going a little long here. I'm going to talk about Breaking Bad on the next episode because I want to give it a little bit more time, and I'm going to talk about it with you for quite a while. So
I know that's going to be a long one.
Elvis, I saw Elvis. I thought it was good. Quickly, Austin Butler, did an amazing job as Elvis. He captured his essence so well, and I think he's going to get nominated for this role. And I think he did a great job. I don't think anything that he did, it was almost like he was impersonating him. I think he was really trying to be him, and he did. I think what stood out to me the most is if you're able to cry and sob and still talk like Elvis, I was like, I think you're a good actor.
That's impressive.
So I was like, I think you won, dude, because you got that perfectly. And so my only one gripe with the movie is the editing on the first part of it was really, really weird. Like quick cuts here, with some weird 3D animation thrown in to try to get the setting of the story just out of the way, so that way you can just focus on the rest of it. And then lastly, when you throw in modern music into a movie that's about Elvis from back in the day, it completely ruins the tone. Like he's in the street talking with people or like hanging out with people, and then Doja Cat starts playing. I'm like,
what? No.
Why is this happening? Or like 20 minutes later, Kanye will have a song. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So that's my one gripe with that movie as a whole. I do recommend seeing it, though.
It's definitely interesting because it's Baz Luhrmann who's the director, and he's very, I'm going to say, stylistic with a lot of his movies. It's funny because you said that because I know he did The Great Gatsby back in 2013.
Oh, okay, okay.
It had the same issue where they were playing like modern music and stuff like that within the movie. And I think it's just a Baz Luhrmann thing where he just like, throws in some like modern tracks in there. But yeah, I think honestly, yeah, it looks interesting. I like the stylistic aspect of it. It's very visually stimulating just from the trailers. Um,
Yes,
I think story wise, it's definitely going to be interesting to watch. Overall, though, I think it looks interesting. I think in terms of, I don't know. I mean, Elvis is kind of a controversial figure overall. I don't know if I want to watch a whole movie about Elvis. Elvis is kind of a little goofy to me, but I think overall, I think just for the cinematography and just the production value, just like the costumes and stuff like that, I think I would be interested in watching it. It would just have to be one of those like slow, weeks where we kind of watched everything we want to watch,
definitely,
and where I would probably jump in and dive into that after I
definitely.
watch Maverick, of course, and
Maverick over
delve
this one,
into
most
that.
definitely.
Perfect. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much all my thoughts on that. Was there any other ones that you wanted to talk about?
No, no. Is there anything that you want to touch on in regards to Lightyear? I saw Lightyear. I thought it was good, but that's all I have to say.
You didn't think anything other than that?
No, I mean, no, I'm not really. I guess the one point that I have to say real fast is that then this is spoilers for the movie. There's an older Buzz in this movie, and they completely threw away the opportunity of having Tim Allen play that older Buzz. That's all I have to say.
Ooh, that would have been a good idea. Wow, what a plot twist. Um, wow, I didn't even think of that. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I really did like it. I mean, it was one of those movies where I just felt good after watching it. It's been such a long time that I've watched a movie and just felt like really just genuinely inspired. And I know it's maybe might be cheesy to say about Lightyear, but overall, like I thought it was a really good movie. I mean, it's like I knew if I was like maybe a kid, that probably would be infatuated with it.
Oh, definitely.
I grew up watching Toy Story. Toy Story was one of my favorite movies as a kid, and Buzz in particular was like my favorite character from
Yep.
that, along with Woody.
Yep.
But definitely, I've always wanted to see like a standalone Buzz Lightyear movie, something like that, since I was a kid. And so for me, it hit all the beats for me, honestly. And I think it was cool just to see Chris Evans kind of play Buzz Lightyear and kind of do the voice for him as
He did a
well.
good job.
I think there were some genuinely like funny moments. I did like laugh actually like a lot. I think like the sandwiches like that got me pretty good. It was like how sloppy that shit was making me laugh a lot. But I think one of the biggest gripes I would have about the movie, and I think probably the only one, honestly, is just exactly that. Like I thought the Zurg villain was kind of weak once they did that reveal and just find out it was him. Like I get it, it ties back into the theme of like mistakes and stuff like that in the movie and just like owning up to your mistakes and all that,
Yeah.
which I love about that. I love movies that are just like, again, going back to that same point, like they know what they are. They're not trying to be anything overly complicated. And, movies sometimes are deeper because of that. Like they stick to their guns. I think sometimes movies try to be too much or too complicated, and it just loses its pulse on what it's actually trying to say. And I think this movie did a really good job of just keeping it simple, and really resonating with everybody. But I think, I think there could have been a better way to do it. I don't know if having the twist be just Buzz inside of a Zerg body. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me, because Zerg's always been like this super bad guy or whatever, and like
Yes.
in the Toy Story lore.
And in the Toy Story lore, he's Buzz's father.
Yeah, something like that. It's weird. So it's like I don't know how deep you want to look into that, but it's just kind of silly. Like, I feel like they could have just made him his own villain, and that would have been just fine.
Yeah.
Um, without having to tie it back to Buzz as like being the one in the Zerg suit. So either way, overall though, I do recommend it. I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. I buy the merch for it all the time. Here, I just got like a Lightyear like mug and stuff. So
Nice.
like I'm a big fan. I enjoyed it a
Awesome.
lot.
It's
But
like the kids
I'm
Interstellar.
exactly, yeah. That's a good way to put it. Wow, Lightyear is the kids Interstellar. You
Yeah.
heard it here first.
Put it right
Robert
there underneath.
Rodriguez, 2022.
Whenever this movie's being advertised and showing all the praise it got, put it right there, press play, the kids Interstellar.
That's it. But overall, I liked it. I thought the characters were pretty funny. I was very entertained. I think it's great for anybody of any age to really get in there. So
Now they need
that's
to
my
make a
two
Woody's
cents.
Roundup movie.
Ooh, you think they would?
They will, but they're probably going to get Tom Hanks to come back and be Woody.
Yeah,
I don't think they would do anything else.
I don't think Tom Hanks is that controversial. I think Tim Allen's just gotten more controversial over
A
the
little
years.
bit. Which
I think that's
weirdly, I
why.
have to say, even though if Disney wants to make the excuse that he's controversial, they did make an entire Santa Claus TV show with him in it
Gross.
on Disney Plus. So I'm like,
Oh man,
there's nothing going on here, guys.
pick your lane.
Exactly. But anyways, yeah, they gotta make a Woody's movie now. If they do, that would be awesome. Sign me up. I just don't know what a real life Woody would look like, to be quite honest.
I'd be kind of scared, to be honest. That's what it sounds like. To be honest with you,
Because I'll be honest, Woody proportionally is less human-like than Buzz. To be quite honest, Buzz looks bulky because he has the armor, like the suit on. Woody
Right.
has like seams in between his joints, so
he's just lanky, brother. He's just lanky guy.
He is.
He has like a 6 head. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be wild. I don't know if I want to see a 6-headed mannequin guy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.